Welcome everybody. We are finally starting our first week here on our online class for pure statistics, and I want to welcome all of you to the course. Just a few things I wanted to go over with you before we get started this week. Many of you have taken an online class before, and then some of you have not taken an online class before. So I want to give you some pointers so we can start off in the right direction and make sure that you are on top of things and you're not falling behind. Hopefully by this time you have read through the Getting Started block in WAMAP, and you're registered in WAMAP, and you've kind of gotten yourself a little bit familiar with it. With that started, now we're going to get into the actual material starting today. You'll see that there's some due dates set, so I want you to keep those things in mind. Now currently I have the due dates set up to give you maximum flexibility because all of you I know have busy schedules and you're working with families and work and school and all kinds of things. So the purpose of the due dates that I've set is to give you maximum flexibility in getting those things done throughout the week. So just a few pointers for all of you who are doing this for the first time that I want you to take into consideration. First of all, being that you're on an online class, because of that maximum flexibility, it's really easy to put things off, be procrastinating. I know none of you do that. Of course, I never do that. But the biggest thing that is probably the biggest challenge is to make sure that you schedule yourself for some regular time that you are devoting directly to this class. And if you have other classes as well, that you're scheduling time for that. So, my first little piece of advice for you, if we can see this, is to create a schedule. Now, I don't know, I'm looking at this in the screen and it looks backwards to me. I'm not sure if that's how you're seeing it. But I should have checked this before I started making the video, but I'm going to go with it. The first thing is to create a schedule. This is super important, as it's something that will make or break your progress and your success in this class. I would recommend, as you're creating your schedule, to set aside at least a couple of hours every day simply to devote to the subject. Whether you're reading, whether you're watching the videos, whether you're studying the PowerPoints, whether you're actually doing the homework. Creating and setting aside 2 hours that you can solely devote to this class is of utmost importance. Do not put off the homework assignments till the due date. If you do, you will be unsuccessful, guaranteed. Also, as you're working through and trying to figure out how to do this stuff, you need to also schedule some time off. Schedule days that you won't be working on this stuff, and that'll give you motivation when you're working on the days that you do have scheduled. Third is get it done ahead of time as much as you can. The more you can get done ahead of time, the more days off you can give yourself, or the more you can jump on the next week's assignments, or whatever. So if you have it in your goal to not just get it done, but to really schedule yourself so you have some wiggle room, that's going to give you a lot more flexibility when it comes to the due dates. Secondly, you can see it says be proactive. Again, reading it backwards. Be proactive. And by that I mean ask questions, get curious, and help others. One of the things I want to emphasize in this class is that we are all in this thing together. I'm here with you. Your classmates are going through the same thing that you're going through. And so you want to get involved in what we're doing and to be proactive about it. Don't just sit around waiting for other people to help you. Be proactive in helping other people as well. You guys are all in this together. You can think of this like a little reality show that we're carrying out virtually. And, you know, you don't want to get voted off the island. That's not going to happen. But jump in there and really help everyone else out. You'll find that everyone else is helping you. And it gives you a lot of motivation to really stay ahead and learn the material. One thing I also want to emphasize when you're helping others is explain why, not just how. One of the downsides that I've seen for discussion boards as I've worked with them over the last couple of years is that sometimes people will just give a quick answer as to how you do it. In other words, put this into your calculator and this is how you do the problem. But what you don't come away with is the why. And it's really important that you ask the why. The why is going to allow you to not only do that problem, but do every other problem that's like it when you come upon it, whether it's on the test or whether it's on future homework. So get curious and ask the why questions. I don't mind the why questions. You may have had some teachers that don't want you to ask why. I want you to ask why, because there are answers as to why. Hopefully sometimes I'll be able to explain it in such a way that you'll be able to understand it. There may be times where it may take a few explanations for you to understand it. But the important question is that you're getting curious enough to ask why, and that's going to help you. Third, I want you to read, watch, study before attempting to do the homework. It's really important. I can't emphasize this enough. I have a lot of students sometimes who have tried to do the homework right away because it's coming up on the due date and they feel this pressure that they need to get it done, but they haven't read the book and they haven't gotten the knowledge yet to be able to do it. And so they really struggle with it, and then they just end up posting questions about how do I do this? You've got to read, watch, study, and then do the homework. If you do that, you're going to have a lot more chances of success when it comes to doing the homework, and it'll take you less time. Take notes as you're watching the videos. It's written right there in case you can't see it. Take notes. Also, create a reference card. Wasn't sure if I could read that backwards. But create a reference card. When you take the final exam, you will be allowed 4 3x5 cards. So as you're going through this course, make yourself create reference cards for you to reference while you're doing the homework, but also stuff that you'll be able to use on the final exam. As you're going through this, you're going to notice a lot of really important formulas and concepts, definitions, etc. Those are all things that you'll be able to take in with you on the final exam, and so you might as well create them as you go, because then you can actually use them, and it'll help you remember them just by writing them down and by having them as a reference point. So create notes, take notes, and create a reference card, 3x5. The last thing is probably the most important: communicate. You are not in this alone. When you take an online class, a lot of times you can feel very isolated and very by yourself, but you're not. You're with 30 plus people in a class, and you all are trying to learn the same thing. And believe me, if you have a question about something, there's probably 10 or 15 other people that have the same question, but just have not asked. So always ask questions and communicate, not only with me, but with your other classmates, because they're in the same boat that you are. And I bet they're going through the same questions and struggles that you're going through as well. Super important, communicate. It's worth 1,000 words. The one thing that you're going to see in the WAMAP as we look at it, your most important thing is discussion board. Discussion board is how you're going to communicate with all your fellow students, and it's going to help you be a good student, helping others and getting answers to your questions. I check them multiple times a day, and so will your classmates be doing as well. So that's that. Bam. We're going to move on now. I want to show you a quick tour of the WAMAP page that you had a little bit of a tour, but I want to give you a more personalized tour of our WAMAP page and how you should approach it. So I'm going to turn myself off here, and I'm going to pull up our WAMAP page. All right. If you've looked at it, you know what it looks like. You've already been in here. Hopefully you've already gone to the getting started spot. Now I'm going to actually make this so it's what you see. A little bit different, a little less cluttered than what I see. Getting started is where you have all of these different things that hopefully already at this point you've gone through and done. I'm now going through and we'll begin to grade these. Some of these required, they were not automatically graded. The textbook is here, and hopefully you've watched the introduction to that textbook, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. Here's where you're going to post your discussion board questions, and I have them grouped up according to units. So modules 1 through 4, 5 through 10, and 11 through 14. We're actually going to be taking 4 tests as opposed to 3 this quarter, but yeah, we'll get to that as we go here. So you're going to see all of these grouped up there, and then the all-important calendar is right here as well. This is where you see all the problems and the dates that they're coming due. For example, tonight, all the stuff from your getting started is due tonight at midnight. So make sure you go through and do that. On Friday, we're going to have a couple of homework assignments due and a quiz. So I want you to get started on that as well, because that's coming due Friday. Okay. On Thursday evening, I will be meeting with online with my hybrid class. This is an official time for them. It's not Wednesday evenings. I'm sorry, that's incorrect, and I'll fix that. But it's Thursday evenings from 6 to 7. This is a time where I will be online, and I'll be working through some actual lectures sometimes, some problems with students, and I want to invite you to participate in those as well. That's Thursday evenings if you can, from 6 to 7. And also, there's all the recorded collaborate sessions here as well. So that's something you can use as a reference if you want some further help or lecture, but pretty much all of the lectures are contained here in the videos that I have linked. So let me just go to Module 1 here, because Module 1 has a lot of stuff. And basically, the idea, the way I've set this up, is for it to go basically from top to bottom. So here are the YouTubes, and these are the PowerPoints that go with those YouTube videos. So I would recommend you print these out ahead of time. You can print them out such that, and let me just show you really quick how to do that. And this is something you can go on campus to do, or something you can just do at home if you have a printer. Let me see. I'm just going to open up one of the first ones here. When you go to print it, there are options of how you can print these out. And I would not recommend printing 1 slide per page, because that will just eat up a lot of paper. And it's not the most efficient way to print this. When you go to here, here's where your print options are. If you go to 3 slides, you can print 3 slides at a time with room for notes over to the side. And I would just create a notebook that has all of these contained within them. And it's something that you can use as we go through, and you can, as you're watching the videos. These take you to the video lessons, and the PowerPoints go along with those video lessons. Here's a couple more handouts and videos. And then when you see this little symbol, the paper with the pencil, these are the homework assignments and quizzes. Again, more YouTube videos, the PowerPoints that go along with them, and then the homework assignments that go with those videos. I pretty much, for the most part, have these grouped up by topic. And so the modules, as you read through the book, are somewhat grouped up by topic, but less so. You'll find that the slides in the videos match up perfectly, and they do match up with the modules as well. So that's the basic idea of how this works, and I'm excited to see how we can work together and make this a successful quarter for you. Whoops, let me put myself back up there. I'm very excited to have you, and I'm excited to help you learn, and as we do this together, let's make sure that we're communicating. Whoops. Looks like we got a little rain inside here. I like warmth better, so we're going to put a little fire in there. I hope you guys have a great quarter, and I'm looking forward to working with you, and I look forward to much more communication with you. and excited to see you succeed. Thank you.